What's up, guys? We're back for another video. This is being filmed at 1 a.m. and 1 a.m. because I'm going to be out of town all next week. So I'm trying to get a video to schedule for you guys to watch. I had a really busy week last week. Brian is here from the podcast. How you doing?
Good. It was a last second invite. I was watching Iron Man 3 and Josiah was like, hey, what are you up to? Instead of watching a movie. It's like, we're doing a video. I'm like, all right, cool. What's the topic? And he said quarterbacks. I'm like, all right, let's do this. So here I am.
Yeah, we're going to be going over that lighting is hideous. I don't know what's going on with that. It's fine. But yeah, we're going to be going over our quarterbacks, our quarterback prospects. We both have our quarterback rankings. We got some video we're going to show you guys for each of them. We're going to give our takes on each of the quarterbacks. And you guys can comment your opinions, whether you think we're idiots, whether you agree with us, however you feel. Comment it down below. But I'm going to go ahead and give my rankings. I rank this top 6. After 6, I don't really care. I mean, I don't not care. It's just they're all backups and they're all third, fourth, maybe third round at best. None of
Yeah.
them are good, in my opinion.
It's a deep
But
class, though.
it's a good class because there are 6 quarterbacks who are first or early second round talent, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and let me go. Sorry about the lighting. There we go. I'll start. My number 1 quarterback. Is it Zack Wilson? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Justin Fields? No, it's Trevor Lawrence. What do you mean? If you think it's anybody else, you're doing what they do every single year. It's whenever there's a for sure number 1 overall pick, for some reason people think somebody else is better. They're not. I mean, Zack Wilson's closer than anybody else, but he's not number 1. Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence, and that's all that needs to be said. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, he's got a very good arm. He's a little bit inaccurate outside the numbers, but you can work on that. And if you watched his pro day, come on. He's very sneaky fast. I said this to Brian, and I know plenty of people have said it, but he runs like a gazelle. It is very fun to watch.
Calling him Trevor Gazelle now.
He doesn't. People, for some reason, try to say he's a pocket passer, and I'm like, what do you mean? The dude outran Ohio State's defense for like a 80-yard touchdown.
He's very fast for his size. He's
And
like
there was also
6'6", 6'7".
yeah, 6'6". His size and his ability is just unheard of.
It's very, very surprising for his
His
size.
release
He's probably
speed
got
for
a
big
4.6 speed.
yeah, 4.6 at the minimum. But what else? Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, he's got those long locks. But yeah, you guys know I don't really need to go in Trevor Lawrence. But that's my QB1. QB2, Zack Wilson. I've been on the Zack Wilson train for quite a while. Sean, he kind of brought up Zack Wilson kind of mid-season, and Brian and I looked into him, and ever since we've been on him. Before the Jags had the number 1 pick, we had the number 2 pick. And everybody wanted Justin Fields, but the 3 of us, we all wanted Zack Wilson. We took the hate. We didn't care, and now look at everybody. Everybody is saying Zack Wilson, Zack Wilson, Zack Wilson. We were here first, bud. But yeah, Zack Wilson, he is a rocket arm, a cannon. In my opinion, the best arm in the draft, above Trevor Lawrence. He has great ball velocity. Sometimes he underthrows on deep throws, which that has nothing to do with arm strength. I don't know why, because he clearly has the velocity. He clearly has a cannon. I don't know why he underthrows sometimes, but his deep accuracy is very good. He's got a moon ball like Russell Wilson, in my opinion. He can move around. He's got Mahomes type speed. He's not super fast, but he's very elusive. He's good making reads. He's just everything you want. He'd basically go number 1 if Trevor Lawrence was not here. Then QB3, this one you might not agree, but I have Trey Lance. I like Trey Lance more than Justin Fields. But Trey Lance, he had his pro day today, and he did pretty good. He overthrew quite a few balls, but overall, he was really good. He has a cannon, very good arm strength. He's clearly mobile. He reminds me of Desean Watson. We'll get into that more. But yeah, Trey Lance, He's not played much games. He doesn't have much film, and that's really his only knock, in my opinion, is he just doesn't, he's never played much. So he's going to kind of be a bit of a project just because of that. He doesn't have the experience that you want, but it's fine. And I have quarterback 4, Justin Fields. Justin Fields, he's very talented. He was people's QB2 for the longest time. He's still some people's QB2. For some people, cough, 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 Brian knows who I'm talking about, have him at number 1. I don't. It's not remotely close. But I think Justin Fields, I think he has some issues locking onto his first read. He has he doesn't have he has a good arm, but he doesn't have the arm that Zack Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, or Trey Lance has. I think he has the 4th best arm in the class. And he just locks onto reads. He holds onto the ball. And I just think he's really fast, but I don't think his running ability is because of his speed. He's not a smart runner. He's just a fast runner, in my opinion. He has a lot of talent. He can be very good if he goes into a good situation. I'm not trying to make this look like last year everybody had this same kind of deal with Herbert. Everybody thought he was really good, and then for some reason they're not the same quarterback. I think Justin Herbert is better, but kind of the situation going into the draft is kind of similar. A lot of people think Justin Fields might be a bust. I don't think he's going to be a bust. I just don't think he's going to be as good as the others. Depends on their situation, though. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Justin Fields fan. Number 5, Mack Jones. This pains me, but him and Kyle Trask are basically the same quarterback. It's just they have different strengths of the same kind of type. I'll go over them both at the same time. Actually, I went into depth on both of them. I did a full film review of Kyle Trask on the video on the channel already. Go watch that if you haven't. But for Mack Jones, I put pros. He's very accurate. He's arguably the most accurate quarterback in this draft. Excuse me. He's very accurate. He's tremendous in the pocket with the slight pocket movements that just give him just enough time to get the ball out. He's very good with that. Very good with that. What else? He has a great deep ball. He doesn't have the best arm strength, but his deep ball accuracy is very good. And if you guys noticed in 2019, when Minshew was one of the best, take this for you will, because Minshew, he regressed. His accuracy was terrible. But in 2019, his deep accuracy was very good. He just didn't have the arm strength. But he was still ended up one of the best deep passers in the league because of deep accuracy. Accuracy over arm strength is very important. Accuracy is easier to get than arm strength, though. So that's why there's floors and ceilings, if you get what I'm going with there. Mack Jones, he's also very smart. He has pretty good I think he has great decision making, and he's willing to take the check down. Now let's go into the cons. He's terrible under pressure, in my opinion. I mean, there are some stats that say he's one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz, but I think the against the blitz stats are kind of skewed. Brian, you could say I'm wrong here. I don't know. But against the blitz, does that include plays where the blitz gets picked up? Because Alabama's offensive line picks up blitzes all the time.
I think there's a blitz regardless. I think even if it's picked up, that's part of the stats.
That's exactly why I think it's skewed, because Alabama has one of the best offensive lines in the country, and they pick up blitzes all the time. Najee Harris is pretty good in pass pro, so they're constantly picking up those blitzes. And his wide receivers are getting open in time to get the ball out before the blitz gets there. So I think it's kind of a skewed stat. I don't like Mack Jones under pressure, and he's going to face a lot of that in the league. He cannot extend the play. I've seen this man leave the pocket less than 5 times. Unless it's a designed rollout, he does not leave the pocket. He's an average arm. He's slow as dirt. He's mainly a first read guy because Devontae Smith was his first read, or Jalen Waddle in the first couple weeks. And there's quite a drop off. I mean, most quarterbacks, there's quite a drop off when they leave their first read. But Mack Jones, he went from one of the top 3 quarterbacks on their first read. This is per PFF, so take it how you will. But but he was a top 3 quarterback on his first read, and then he was in the 20s after his first read. So there's quite a drop off there.
And this is Jones?
Mack Jones, correct.
Wow.
And then the final con is he worked with elite skill players in offensive line. Like I said, he played with one of the best offensive lines in the country. He played with a arguably first, early second round running back, two top 10 players in the class at wide receiver, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. John Mechie is insane too. I think John Mechie's going to go off next year. And the offensive line is the offensive line. So those are him. And then Kyle Trask, my QB6. His pros, he's accurate. His accuracy is different than Mack Jones. Mack Jones is on the money accurate, but then has more uncatchable balls. What do you count, Brian? I'm going to ask you a question here. Yeah. What matters to you more? Would you rather have a quarterback who has more throws on the direct money, like hands, chest, but they have a lot more uncatchable balls, or would you rather have the guy who has who has a lot less uncatchable balls, but his throws, sometimes he throws a little bit behind, a little bit high, but his receivers can get them still? What matters to you more, first or second option?
I'd probably say the first.
Okay, because that's the difference. Mack Jones, he has more uncatchable balls than Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask does not throw uncatchable balls often. Pretty much every ball he throws is catchable. It's just they're not always
in the chest,
on the hands. Sometimes they're here, that the receiver has to adjust slightly to get. So they're both very accurate in their different ways. Kyle Trask is mostly good decision-making. I went over this. For some reason, he makes weird decisions occasionally. He's good pocket movements like Mack Jones. He's good moving through reads. I think he's better than Mack Jones moving through reads. He's much better under pressure than Mack Jones, in my opinion. And I think the film shows that. And he's a willing runner. There's a difference between a good runner and a willing runner. A willing runner is willing to take a hit to get you the 2 yards you need, 3, 4, 5. He's willing to just truck over somebody to get those few yards you need. He's willing to take those hits for those yards, and he's not scared of it. That's what a willing runner is. Mack Jones, his runs, he slides, and my eyes need bleach. Mack Jones is has one of the worst slides I've ever seen, which he's clearly never played baseball. And then cons for Kyle Trask, not overly mobile. He's just not mobile at all, really. I mean, he leaves the pocket more than Mack Jones, and he runs more, I'd say, but he's still not mobile. You can't lie and say he's mobile. He relies on 50-50 balls too often. There's a difference, though. He throws 50-50 balls so often, but he also puts them in the best spot to succeed. For example, I'm Kyle Pitts. The defender is right here. He puts the ball here for me to it's kind of still in front of him to catch it, which it still classifies as a 50-50 ball, but it's really a 75-25 ball, especially when it's Kyle Pitts. But the accuracy where he puts it is different than just a 50-50 ball. But then sometimes his biggest weakness, in my opinion, is predetermined throws. Sometimes he'll just take the snap, take the drop. It's a deep throw, just over the middle of the field. He just lobs it up, kind of the screw it. He's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like he did that too many times for my liking, where it's literally the same thing. There's a receiver, whether Pitts, Tony, Grimes, down the middle of the field. Doesn't matter if it's double coverage, triple coverage. It could be quadruple coverage. He doesn't care. He said, I'm throwing this football. And sometimes it works. I mean, there was a touchdown to Kyle Pitts that he ripped it away from a defender, but that's Kyle Pitts. Then there was one where he threw it to Tony in triple coverage, and it was picked off. There was a flag on the play, so it didn't count against Texas A&M. But you can't be making those predetermined throws that you just lob it up the middle of the field. It's not good, but that's very teachable. So again, this is his biggest issue is very teachable. And then he also has an average arm strength at best. Fumbles also might be an issue in his first year, just because I think fumbles could be an issue for Mack Jones, but I think they'd be slightly more of an issue for Kyle Trask. So I got Kyle Trask and Mack Jones both very close, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Brian speak finally.
All right, so I've obviously got 6 quarterbacks as well. I think the first one's pretty obvious. It's obviously Trevor Lawrence. He's 6'6". He's right now he's at like 210, 205, but that's because of surgery. On game day, he'll probably be at 220, 225.
He looks slimmer than he
does
than
look
he is,
slimmer
just because
than he
he's
usually
he's like
is.
75 feet tall.
Yeah, he's very tall for a quarterback. It's like he's just a little shorter than Paxton Lynch. But strengths I've got from him is what?
I accidentally muted you. That was bad. I meant to unmute myself because I was going to say, do not say Paxton Lynch, please. And then I accidentally muted you.
Oh God, we're off to a great start, folks. It's almost 4:30 in the morning.
Sorry.
Anyways, yeah, he's tall. I guess Brock Osweiler is another comparison for height. Since
Can
we
you
don't
please
want to,
stop? Can you please
all right,
stop?
he's
I,
tall.
I'm literally going to drive to Tampa and slap you.
All right, he's tall, but his biggest strengths is first he's a leader. It's very important as a quarterback to be a leader. He's a winner. Um, he's got a tremendous skill set. He's a pretty accurate passer. The only thing, well, I'll actually get into that in his cons. He's got a very strong arm, probably top 3 in terms of arm strength. Um, extremely great, just really good deep ball accuracy. He has very good accuracy on the deep ball. Stands tall. He steps into his hits. He's not afraid to get hit. He knows to hit people on the run if they're wide open. Obviously, there was a catchable ball, and he's very athletic for his size as well, which is really impressive. He's even good when he gets out of the pocket. He's one of the best quarterbacks in recent memory. I mean, there's a lot of things I can go over in terms of, how good he is.
He's Peyton Manning.
He's Peyton Manning,
That
who's
can
more
run.
mobile. Yes, exactly. The cons that I've got for him is he locks onto his first read a lot. He actually had an offense where it was only half the field that he read, so he didn't have a full field scan. I mean, I don't think it was every play, but I think it was a lot of plays where he only read half the field. His tall stature concerns me. His health seems fine, but like being that tall could suscept him to some injuries, but hopefully that's not the case.
We're not going to see tip balls every 2 seconds like
Yeah,
Minshew.
thank God. His windup is a little slower, considering he's very tall and he has a long arm.
Actually, I'm going to kind of disagree with you on this one. That's one of the things that people talk about, that because when you're 6'6", your windup is generally kind of slow, but Trevor Lawrence, it's very fast for his size.
It's fast for his, yeah, it's fast. Obviously, it was slower when he first started as a freshman, but he's definitely can't speak. Improved it, but obviously it's not the fastest release speed because of his long
it's
arm.
Not Aaron Rodgers speed.
It's not Aaron Rodgers fast, but it's fast. It's faster than it should be for someone his size. So yeah, I mean, overall he's pro ready. He's very accurate. I could say, another negative is he needs to work on his accuracy outside the numbers, which is something we've discussed. Which he can work on. Obviously, it's not something that he needs to worry about. It's something about him is he has an issue, he fixes it very quickly. It's something I've noticed as well.
He changes to win. He was not a runner his freshman year.
He was a statue in the pocket in 2019. He was a statue. 2018.
But then in 2019, that's when the Ohio State game, and he was running all season. He changed. When he needed to run, he ran, and he won the game. In 2018, he was a statue. So that's development. I was told he regressed, though, at.
Yeah. QB2, this was kind of easier for me to decide on. I'm going to go with Zack Wilson. Personally, he's my favorite. He's my guy going into the draft. Obviously, Trevor's my guy as well, but like non-Jaguar related, Zack Wilson's like, I want him to succeed no matter where he goes. strengths, he's probably got, in my opinion, one of the strongest arms in the class. His arm strength is
He's gonna
incredible.
have a top arm in the whole entire league.
Oh, easily. Oh, he's got a great arm. He can make all the throws. He's accurate. He's very accurate. He's very good with not turning the ball over.
He can make any throw from any angle. It's crazy.
He's even got like, he's not fast, but he's very like elusive, especially in the
He's like
pocket.
Mahomes.
He's like Mahomes. Yeah, he's similar to Mahomes when it comes to escapability.
I hate comparing quarterbacks to Mahomes, but Zack Wilson, the
But
best comparison is just Mahomes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I hate it, but you have
he
to.
works with really lesser receivers and he makes the most out of it. Like the fact that he's working with that and still doing well is very impressive to see. And he's accurate. He's got good anticipation. He knows how to handle pressure. One of the better deep balls in the class. High upside. One thing what I'm worried about with him is he's a little lean. He could stand to gain a couple pounds, probably 5 to 10 pounds. Another thing that's similar to Joe Burrow, he had one good year. Prior to that, he was an unknown commodity. A lot of people have questioned his football character. I don't know how much about. I don't know much
People
about
think
that.
he's a rich kid who.
I don't know. He's a Mormon. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but
People think he's I've heard some people think he's a rich kid who has a high ego and some stuff, but
yeah,
kind of irrelevant stuff that people just try to say.
yeah. And obviously this is something that everybody brings up is his experience against elite competition lacks. He had one game against elite competition. He had an okay game, wasn't amazing.
He almost won the dang game at the end.
Yeah, he almost won the game with the defense struggling. So, I mean, it would have been nice to see him face better teams besides that one. There's a fly in here. But he still made the most. He had a pretty good game. He does need, I don't know if I said he's good under pressure, but he needs to work on his pressure, his accuracy under pressure.
You just said he's good under pressure.
Yeah, I meant to say, yeah, I don't know why I said that. I'm tired. I'm misreading my notes. He needs to work on his under pressure. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it's something he can work on. But there's not a lot of flaws with him. He's very good. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's definitely got some things to work on. Like he needs to put on a couple pounds. He's a little slim, kind of like Trevor, except Trevor's tall. Quarterback 3. This is where Josiah and I switched up. I went with Justin Fields, and I'll tell you why.
Sean's not gonna like that one.
Why is that?
I was just joking because Sean doesn't like. I think Sean might have him at QB5.
Wow.
Sean does not like Justin Fields at all.
I don't blame him. I mean, I don't know. The reason I have him at 3 is his upside, and then
I think he has one of the lowest floors in the class.
Yeah, I could flip Trey Lance and Justin Fields. You know what? I got it. I'm gonna be opposite here. For this moment, I'm gonna stick with Justin Fields at 3. Trey Lance and him could switch back and forth if I'm being honest. He's accurate. He has good arm strength. He doesn't have the best arm strength, but he has pretty good arm strength. He's had a couple of deep passes, especially against Clemson, that were beautiful throws, right on the money.
With a hurt chest.
With a rib injury. He's got insane mobility, but he doesn't know how to use it. I know that's a negative, but if he harnesses the ability to mobilize himself, he's going to
be a smart runner.
Oh, he is insane. His speed, his running ability.
4.4 speed.
Easily 4.4 speed. He's got some of the fastest speed in
He'll be a top 3 speed quarter, probably top 2 behind Lamar.
He could be. He's like a smaller Cam Newton in terms of mobility, but he needs to harness the ability to do that.
For sure.
When he gets in the open field and he knows what he's doing, it's insane. He doesn't turn the ball over much. I mean, he's had a couple of games where he struggled. The thing that he struggled with is against really good defenses when he kind of got exposed a little bit, and he turned the ball.
They exposed his weaknesses.
His pocket awareness lacks. He gets rattled by the pass rush. That's where he kind of freezes up. And then when blitzes start to occur, Northwestern exposed the hell out of him, unfortunately.
The whole game, I'm screaming at him to throw the ball.
Yep. He needs to work on adjusting to the blitz. He can't get rattled by the pass rush. His field vision isn't amazing. He needs to work on that, which, that'll take some time. his playing experience is actually only a year and a half. He's only played for about a year and a half. Hasn't even played 2 full seasons.
Yeah, he actually
But
transferred from Georgia.
yeah, but the biggest issues I have with him is if he can't prevent himself from getting rattled by the pass rush, not freezing from blitz, recognizing the blitz, then he's going to have a tough time adjusting in the league. I think his ceiling's very high, but his floor is very low as well. Like he is like one of those boomer bust players. He's either going to be a top 10, top 5 quarterback, or he's going to be out of the league in 3 years, or end up being a backup. But
Indeed.
I want to see him be a successful player. I have nothing against him, but I'm worried about him. Maybe it's my stigma against Ohio State quarterbacks, but I don't know. He's better than Dwayne Haskins coming out, but if he goes to the wrong team, the Jets, he is in deep trouble. Like he needs.
Should have said the team up there in New York.
Yeah, he
New
needs
Jersey.
to go to a team like Atlanta, Carolina,
Atlanta.
even Washington. Like he needs to go to a team that will develop him properly. The Jets.
To Washington. They just had
Washington
Dwayne
would be a
Haskins.
good. Huh?
I said they just had Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins' issue was he is an off-field issue, and he kind of thinks too much of himself.
Yeah.
He was flexing in the locker room, having 300 yards and no touchdowns. What do you mean?
Yeah, that was bad. His character was not a good. It was a very big problem for him.
Justin Fields has a much better character.
Fields is boomer bust. Simple as that. QB4, like I said, this could be swapped. And one of my underrated prospects is Trey Lance. This kid is the definition of like Justin Fields, boomer bust. He has the strongest arm in the class. Absolutely incredible arm strength. It's ridiculous. Very accurate on deep passes. He's very mobile. He runs a lot. He's the definition of a dual threat. I think he had three turnovers last year in his year that he played.
Had 1 turnover in his entire career.
One.
It was a terrible turnover. Don't get me wrong.
It was a bad turnover, but 1 turnover is incredible in a season.
Yeah, what's his name? Carson Wentz had 13 coming out of North Dakota State. Had 13 interceptions. That doesn't include fumbles.
He's obviously very mobile. He's good build. He's very fast. I really wish he ran a 4.3 or not 4.3. Yeah,
he didn't even run the 40.
He probably could have ran a 4.4, maybe better.
Possibly.
He is a fastball for.
He's a tough runner too. He'll break tackles all day long.
Yeah, and his throwing ability, like he will throw bullets at you, even if it's medium distance. He will bullet those balls.
Yeah, he needs to have some good touch.
My weaknesses for him, he's a very raw prospect. He has a lot to work on. His experience is also a problematic issue as well. I mean, he's working the FCS, but the same thing I said about Carson Wentz, but he ended up in the NFL and he had a great 2017, but after injuries kind of riddled. He was riddled with injuries and he fell off a cliff. But I don't think Trey Lance is going to have that issue. Trey Lance is a very good prospect, but he's very, as I said, raw. He needs to get better with throwing at the tight windows. He has a tendency to lock onto his first read, and he doesn't scan the field very well. And he does run, like I said, he runs a lot, and sometimes he runs too soon because of his first read being covered, so he panics and just darts. Both good and bad. Good as in he's very mobile and he can do that, but at the same time, sometimes you need to look for the other man that's open, because if you miss that second read and he's open for a touchdown and you end up gaining like 5 yards, maybe even lose a yard or something because you take off, that's a missed opportunity.
Also, him running. I said also him running is kind of take it how you will, because he's a really tough runner, but he's also running, breaking tackles against guys who are going to be selling cars in the future.
I forgot to do comparisons for the quarterbacks. I'll do it real quick. I was going to do like a QB comparison. Trevor.
Peyton Manning.
We said Peyton Manning, but more mobile and better coming out.
Zack Wilson, Mahomes.
Zack Wilson reminds me of
Mahomes.
He reminds me of a better Drew Lock. They have a very similar build.
I guess that's kind of true.
They're very similar in build, similar size, but he's better. He's a better version. Similar arm strength, mobility, and gunslinger type of play, but he's just a better prospect coming out, obviously. Justin Fields gives me
Justin
Deshaun
Fields.
Watson vibes. Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott.
I think he's more Cam Newton to Dak
He has
Prescott.
he's like a Cam Newton light, but he definitely gives me Watson vibes if he hits that ceiling.
Trey Lance is my Watson.
Yeah, I could, and that's another one I could say Watson, but I'd probably say Dak Prescott for Fields. He's very similar build, mobile like Dak, but faster. I think he has a higher ceiling than Dak did coming out of college.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's going in the first round instead of the fourth.
Yeah, he's got it's a boom or bust situation.
And then
Lance, like you said Deshaun Watson. I'm going to give him Josh Allen because first of all, their arm strength is ridiculous. He's not as big as Allen. He's a little shorter than him, but they have a very similar style of play, and they both are coming out of college against lower competition. I mean, Josh Allen went to Wyoming. I actually didn't even know they had a school until he was drafted. If he hits his ceiling, he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, I think. If he hits that ceiling, but he needs at least a year of waiting because he's very raw, which is why I think he goes to the Falcons or Panthers.
And Mack Jones, you haven't gone over Mack Jones or Kyle Trask yet.
And now we're getting to that. Yeah, I was just about to say, now on to Mack Jones. So Mack Jones is number 5. Mack Jones is an interesting prospect. Like,
I personally think he's kind of overrated, but
I think he's a little overrated, but I think he's going to be a pretty solid quarterback. I can see him being like, he gives me like a Matt Barkley kind of vibe, but a little bit better, obviously. Matt Barkley was obviously a backup, but I'd say his strengths are he's a very accurate passer.
I really don't know who to compare Mack Jones to.
Yeah, he's a good decision maker. He's got very good ball placement. He's got a lot of things that are like make him very pro ready, but he's also got some things that he needs to obviously work on. His intelligence is very good. His pocket composure is out of this world. Like when he gets blitzed, he just doesn't faze him. Good vision. He has a good internal. He knows the offense really well. I think he's probably going to have one of the higher. They're not doing the Wonder Lick, but yeah, he's very smart with the offense. He's got intangibles. I think he worked in a West Coast offense, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think he worked in the West Coast.
I have no idea.
Which
I
is
don't know what Alabama runs.
in the league. His weaknesses, obviously, his arm strength isn't great. I mean, it's not elite, but it's not amazing. It's good. He's more of a pocket passer. He's not mobile. I mean, if he has to run, he will. But, he's a pocket quarterback. His size isn't great. It's enough, but it's not great. Another limited experience situation. He was a one-year wonder because he was
bad for the Auburn game last year.
Yeah, I think I remember watching a game.
He single-handedly threw the game for Alabama. He had like 3 picks and like 2 pick sixes. Actually, were they all 3 pick sixes? I think he had 2 pick sixes.
Yeah. Honestly, I could see he was thrusted into the starting lineup in 2019 because of Tua's injury. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. Honestly, I think his ceiling for me is a game manager type quarterback. He's not going to be a top 10 quarterback. He'd be lucky if he's top 15.
His ceiling is probably
a game manager.
Is an average starter game manager. His floor is probably just a decent backup.
Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of backup. Like
Ryan Fitzpatrick is better. I'm just kidding. Ryan Fitzpatrick is much more mobile, which is kind of funny to say.
But I just don't see Jones is probably going to be someone's going to reach on Jones.
Someone's going to reach for him because he's a quarterback. It's that simple.
He's going to go to somebody that I could see him going to the Saints. I really can. But I know they want.
I doubt he'll be available there.
Yeah. If he gets past 20, teams are going to start trading up. But he's going to be a late first if
people have him going in the top 8, which is disgusting.
Ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous reach.
If you take him in the top 10, your team is going to be hot trash.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Josiah's guy, Trask. To start with, he's got everybody in this draft class is accurate. I got to give him that. He's got a solid arm, It's not the best arm, obviously. He's very good in the pocket, as expected. He's a pocket passer.
He's an
Has good
elite pocket
composure in the
passer,
pocket.
but
He knows how to. He's very good with his touch on the ball. He's very tough.
that was a very good point I left off on mine. His touch is beyond belief.
He has great touch. He knows how to handle those 50-50 balls as well. He's very good. Well, granted, he's working with receivers that can handle that, but he's very good with the 50-50s. Good character. He's a leader. He's faced good competition, so that helps a lot. He sees the field pretty well. He works off his first read. Pocket presence is great. If I didn't say that, his weaknesses, I mean, he's not mobile. He stinks at sliding, as Josiah said.
Well, he doesn't slide.
Yeah,
Mack Jones is when he starts sliding. Kyle Trask is just either going to run out of bounds or he's just going to take a hit, which is he's got the size to be able to take that hit, but
right.
240.
He's standing in the pocket like a statue because that's just how he is. He obviously, since he's not mobile, he's kind of has some trouble avoiding the rush. When his offensive line falters, that's when he's like, "Oh," freaks out.
Brian is literally quote tweeting, not quote tweeting, but what's the word? Like you're sneak dissing a certain player right now.
Yes,
he's exactly. very specifically. I know exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah.
And you're going to see him too.
Yeah, but Trask doesn't have the best arm. I mean, it's an average arm at best.
Trask is the GOAT, though.
He can throw it deep, but he's not throwing 60-yard bombs or anything like that.
Trask had the most per PFF. I don't even. What do they define a big time throw? Is my question. Like, is it an NFL type throw? Or is it just a really deep throw? Like, what is a big time throw? Whatever it is, Kyle Trask had the most by like 15. He had like 55. So
I'll have to look into that.
And Dan Mullen said he was running a very complicated offense at an elite level.
But for Trask, I've got him as a late first. Honestly, I could see him going in the first. Somebody might reach for him. I could see the Colts taking him because they need a quarterback. I could see the Patriots taking him.
People ain't gonna like that one because they just signed Wentz.
Wentz?
The Colts just signed Wentz.
Oh, the Colts
traded for Wentz.
But that doesn't mean that you can't get a quarterback. You got to have a backup plan. So I could see the Colts taking Trask.
I think they're going to go left tackle anyways.
Yeah, if they don't take Trask, then I could definitely see somebody getting Trask at the end of the first. Like the Saints could even get him, but I think he gets picked up in the second round at the latest. If he falls in the third, I'd be surprised. I think he's a second-round quarterback. He needs a year to sit.
If he goes to Tampa, this dude's going to be sick.
That's a good location. That's really where I think he goes. Is sit behind Brady for 2 years. I don't know when Brady's going to retire, but
sitting behind Brady for 2 years? Oh, my.
At worst, he's a game manager. Unless he sits behind Brady, then he might be the next big thing. At worst, he's a backup. But
pretty much.
I see him as a late first, early second. I see the potential behind him, but you need to put him on the right team to unlock that potential. He's very tough. His pocket presence is amazing. He's got great accuracy. His arm's okay. I think he has the tools to be a starting quarterback, but I would not be surprised if he did not become a starter in the league.
Facts. Now, let's go ahead and get into a clip from each quarterback. So,
before I finish,
go ahead and start with do what?
Move on. My 2 or 3 and 4 Lance and Fields are going to probably swap as the days go on. I got to watch Fields Pro Day, whenever that is. But I might. My list after 1 is subject to change. Even 2, 3, and 4, and even 5 and 6. Like it could change. I could move. Fields
Pro days are going to be interesting. Pro day could change a lot.
Yeah, but right now that's my list. Wilson's probably the second least likely to change, but Lawrence is number 1 no matter what.
All right, let's hop into Trevor Lawrence. See you guys in a second. All right, here's Trevor Lawrence. Let's watch this. What am I doing?
You're struggling with me here.
Watch right here.
Pressure.
Look at that back shoulder.
Back shoulder with pressure in his face. Pressure in his face. Throws it Great.
All right, now let's go ahead and move on to Zack Wilson. Let's watch him right here.
Zack Wilson with a nice drop back. See that? Look at that mobility. Great mobility on the run. Absolute dime on the sideline. Like, it's incredible.
Now let's go to Kyle Trask.
Oh boy, this is the play I'm thinking of.
Let's go ahead and let's actually make the speed a little bit faster.
Jacksonville.
Here we go. Watch this play under pressure.
Right tackle.
Touchdown.
So disgusting to watch, but great recovery.
What's the right tackle?
When we get to right here.
Watch 56.
56 completely whiffs his block. Motion, they're changing up the play. Switching sides. The motion's 27. And then 56 just absolutely whiffs so badly on this. He has a great start.
Terrible vision.
There's the motion. Great start. And he thinks 25 is coming in, but 51 picks him up, lets 10 go. Trask loses the ball briefly and then gets it and then kind of lofts it to the middle of the field, and 89 gets it for the touchdown. So great recovery by Trask. That was
fantastic under pressure. Now here, I said Mack Jones isn't good under pressure, but I'm still going to give him credit when it's due. Here is a good play under pressure against the blitz.
Mack Jones is probably one of the best against the blitz. It's insane. Look at that. Right in his face. Takes an absolute massive hit for 32.
Jalen Waddle.
And
Devontae Smith was wide open too.
Right in the money.
Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith were both open on that. That's
incredible
hilarious.
Throw by Trey. Like, he's got some abilities. If they can get him on the right team, he could be very good.
Now here is Justin Fields.
Takes the handoff. Absolute dime of a throw right here.
The quality on this is terrible.
But like, are you kidding me? When I saw this live, I was like, wow, what a throw. He makes some good big-time throws when they give him the right plays. Takes the handoff. Oh, iffy on the handoff. Absolute bullet. Right on. It was a little bit of a
great adjustment.
Yeah, it wasn't the best throw now that you look at it from that angle. He did throw it a little bit off where he fell down, but other than that, it was a great arm strength. But he definitely
whoops. I accidentally turned the volume up. But we're actually going to show a pro day highlight from Trey Lance because he had that today instead of a game highlight. But here's from his pro day. This is easily his best throw of the pro day. Beautiful.
Like I said, this kid's got the best arm strength in the class.
It's just beautiful.
Look at this.
He overthrew a couple deep balls, but
barely
this one
any
was
effort.
beautiful.
Yeah, his accuracy needs to little improvement there on accuracy in terms of deep passing. He also needs to work on his checkdowns because I don't think he really had much in college. But
beautiful.
Incredible throw.
Yeah, that is our top 6 quarterbacks. That's our quarterback evaluation. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Brian hopping on for something besides the podcast. Just a little fun thing. I made him become sleep deprived.
Yeah, I got work for that. Tomorrow. I'm not.
Yeah, we got to hop out quick so he can go to sleep. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys later.